Well, welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead, y'all. I'm glad you're back. And if this is your first time to our channel, I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to make some sun-dried tomatoes. Well, it's going to be a little bit of a process, but it's so worth it. You don't have to buy them at the store. I use sun-dried tomatoes in my breads. Nothing better. Nothing better, especially with some tomato soup, a grilled cheese on sun-dried bread with tomato soup. That is so good. So, we're going to start out with doing these tomatoes. Now, this is going to take me, I don't want to say yet, maybe a day to get this done. But I've got quite a few tomatoes. Now, I've got some Romas, and then I've just got regular little tomatoes out of the garden. But Romas, ideally, are probably your better choice for sun-dried tomatoes. So, I'm going to just take you with me through this just for a second and show you how I'm going to put them on these trays. So I'm going to get you down here where you can see. Okay, I didn't put an apron on. I'll probably be dirty. But this is an old shirt, so it's not going to matter, right? Our tomatoes, if you've been watching our channel, our tomatoes, they are not too good this year. And you want to put them, I'm going to put it on the lowest setting on this little mandolin. You can do this by hand. I thought this had a little stand. I guess it don't. You can do this by hand or you can use one of these. Now you can go this way. I'll just show you. But you want to get them as thin as you can. And going this way is fine. Or you can go lengthwise too. Okay, that's too thin. That's not doing it. That's too thin. Let me move it up a notch. I thought that would work. Here we go. This is probably going to work. Yeah. That's just right. It's number 2 on this. I got this little mandolin. I used to have a Pampered Chef one. And it had so many contraptions to it. And you had to change each blade and everything. And then I just got this at Walmart. And it's just easier for me. But I loved my Pampered Chef one. I gave it to my daughter-in-law. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, we'll give that to the chickens. It's too thin to do anything with. I've got these trays that go on my dehydrator. And this is my dehydrator back here that I absolutely adore. And then I'm just going to put this tray. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I've done it on just this. And let me tell you something. I like to never got them off of this. So I bought these. And I do my eggs in here to dehydrate eggs and all kinds of stuff. These trays are amazing. They're amazing. So I'm just going to see how thin those are. And we're just going to set them on here on this tray. Let me see if I can do a long one. Hold on. I've got a long, here's a long Roma. Let's try it and see what happens. On 2. And you guys, I've cut myself on this, not this one, but I worked in a kitchen at a home, children's home, and I cut the end of my finger off on one of these things. And I'll tell you something, it didn't feel good. So there's this little guard that you should use. Okay, when you get down, I wait till I get down pretty low and then I start using it. Okay, see how thin those are? That's about where you want to be. Okay, and I'm just going to set these on here. So you could go long ways. You could do it this way. Let's try it. Let's just try it. I've never done it this way. I'm sure you could. That's making me nervous. Hold on. Whoops. See how that works? And then you can go real fast. Now look here. See that? You can go long ways if you want. That'd be good for like a sandwich. But these, your Romas don't have a lot of juice in them. They're more meat. So that's why they call them paste tomatoes, because you make your paste and stuff out of them. Or, I mean, you can. That's what I do. But I don't think I got enough this year to do that, so I don't know. We'll see. They're still coming on. We put our garden out late. You all know that if you watch our stuff. And so it's a coming on. Okay, so I'm going to fill up all these trays and then I'll get back with you, okay? All right, I've got these in here. Push down here where you can see. And you don't want them overlapping or nothing like that. So I've got, how many trays I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trays in this one. Yeah, I thought there was 8. 7 trays in this one. So they're all full. I've got it at 135 degrees. And you can do 130, 135, somewhere in that range. And then I set it for 10 hours. But here's the thing. It's going to depend on your dehydrator. I have one of the old-fashioned round ones. They're not old-fashioned. They still use them. But I mean, that's the one I've used for years and years and years. I just got this like, I don't know, 4 years ago. And I like it much better. But I still have my other one because if something happens to this one, I got a backup. Or if I want to do more stuff, which I could do with these tomatoes, but I'm not going to. So I just cut up one at a time to make sure I didn't cut up all my tomatoes because then I wouldn't have had room to put them in here. But it depends. The drying time really depends on your dehydrator, and it depends on how wet your tomatoes are, how thick or thin they are. There's different factors. So just watch them. It'll be 8 hours probably minimum, and then you'll have to just watch them after that. So when we get these done, this batch, then I'll bring you back and I will show you what they look like and how I store them. So don't go nowhere. All right, they're all done, and we just got back from Jeep riding, so my hair is crazy. Anyway, I am going to show you, I'm going to finish this up tonight for this video, and I'm going to show you how I store them, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow, and I'm going to do some sun-dried tomatoes, and then maybe the next day we'll make some bread, I don't know. But let's go ahead and get these stored and put away. Let's turn this off. It took about, well, there's an hour and 30 minutes, and I had it on 10, didn't I? I think. So 8 hours, 8, 9 hours. That's how long it took. All right. Get some of these out so you can look at them. Okay. They're going to peel right off of this silicone mat, and that's what they look like. Okay? Just add water if you want them to be a tomato again. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in here. I told you, my fingers. I've been digging and everything else. My hands are clean, they're just stained. But if you watch our videos for very long, you know that it's just the way it is with me. Some of these, see, these weren't Romas, and they're a little harder to get off of this mat because they had more liquid, and they're thinner. They're not as meaty as the Romas. Yeah, these are going to make some good sun-dried tomatoes. These are so much easier to get off this mat than those racks. All right, so we got the jar full, and I have this little gadget here I got off Amazon several years ago, and it does smallmouth, and it also does largemouth. So we're going to put this lid. You want to make sure this is clean. There ain't nothing really to wipe off with something wet, but make sure it's clean. Put your lid on. Push that down, and we're going to go to 40. Okay, got to 40. You can go a little longer if you want. It's usually done for me by 40 or so. And there it is. It's on. It has sucked all that air out of that jar. And now we can store them. Okay? All right, well, there you go. That's how you dry and store your tomatoes for sun-dried tomatoes. Now, tomorrow, make sure you come back, and I'm going to show you how to reconstitute them, to bring them back to life, is what I always say. Make them look like tomatoes again, and then I'm going to show you how to make sun-dried tomatoes so you don't have to go to the store and buy them. So come on back tomorrow. Lord willing, I'll be here. I love y'all. You have a great evening, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time.